Okay, this is the 24 hours on the glue up, actually 36. I'll let it go a little longer. And we're going to see how well it's done. And we'll take these vices off very carefully. I've already taken the nut off. And see how well it's done. And it looks like it's gone pretty well. Let's see. Oh yeah. Yeah, look at this. Now there's a lot of overrun on it that I need to wipe off and clean off. But if you'll look, that crack, with the exception of those little dots there, they'll come off. It's almost perfectly sealed, which I thought it would be. Now, yes, I had to put a lot of pressure on it, and it will leave those marks, but main thing is that it's done. It's got the job done. And we'll be sanding those down anyway. So, let's set this down. Flip it back over, throwing some water out, some towels, wipe this thing down. Okay, well, I've taken this down twice, down to sand, and this was bare wood a minute ago, and I'm still having problems with that wood filler they put in there in that guitar. Unbelievable. This guitar neck is made up of 4 pieces. It's got a scarf joint on it. It's got 2 slats in the middle piece, and the middle piece is separated by wood putty. I can't believe they've done this. That's why I had so much trouble painting the darn thing. But hang in there, guys. I'll try to get it done. Okay, so what we've done, we finished our last coat of the flat black on the neck itself. Then we took 2000 grit wet sandpaper and made it all smooth and nice and even. And the next step is to seal it. You can't just put it flat black on here and expect it to stay. It just won't do it. There's a little imperfection in the finish, but main thing is smooth, and it you know, feels great to the touch. And once I put this clear enamel on it, crystal clear, right, it'll seal that paint up, and that will be that. Now, I expect to only do 2 coats with this, so I'm not going to go thick with it. I'm going to go very thin and keep it about 20 inches away from the product when I'm spraying it. But to protect my camera, I won't be showing that. I'll show the afterwork. If somebody wants me. Hang in there, guys. Hi guys, David Texas here. What you're looking at is a nice little Ovation acoustic electric, right? And the reason it's in the shop is very bad. I mean, it's about as bad as they get. While he was playing it, his strap came off his button, and the guitar hit sideways, and look what it did to the neck. See this? I just barely pull. I don't pull it too much, but you see that crack in it? And it's cracked all the way through on the other side as well. You can see that much better, I think. See that? That's about as far as I want to take that. And we're going to fix this. We're going to fix it like it was new again. And get it set up for him. Now, he wants it working. He doesn't want it restored. He just wants it back in working condition. Obviously, it's a working man's guitar. It's not a collector's item. Okay? So that's what we're going to do. And we're going to start out with some tight bond glue, right? Which is right here. Ta-da! And use that to glue this up, as well as a bunch of vices, all different types, to hold this thing in place once we get the glue into it. Now the problem with this crack, this break in the neck, is that it travels it travels 3 inches right down the fretboard, or beside the fretboard, and of course it veers off, taking more wood than a fretboard with it. As you can see, gets deep into the neck itself, and just letting glue drip down in it is not going to do the job. It just won't get there. You'll end up with some bare space at the very end of that crack, and that's going to be a problem. So I'm going to fill this up with tight bond and force the glue down into it deep, and move it back and forth, and move it back side to side to make sure each spot in this neck gets covered with glue. Now the problem is, I could use a pipette, but it won't put enough pressure, just me squeezing it. That pipette looks like this, and it won't travel as right, and it could just, you know, crimp it and not do any good at all. But I've got to make sure that this glue gets down to this 3rd fret, you know, or the equivalency of this 3rd fret on this crack, to make sure it's all glued up and back, you know, in good condition. It's going to take 48 hours worth of curing to get this glue set up under pressure with these vices to make sure I had no problems, and that the glue job is complete and working well. So next step is to fill the syringe up with tight bond. I won't be using all of it, but it's better to go ahead and fill it up rather than end up not having enough. And I'll do this off camera because this is really messy. And usually I get it all over the place. Okay, so here we have it. And I'll try to show you as much as I can of this thing. Bear with me guys, if it doesn't stay in focus or in the viewfinder. I'm trying the best I can. It's not easy to do. I've got to insert this needle as deep as I can inside this guitar before it comes to an obstacle, and then start applying this glue and get it in there. Now I'm just barely putting any pressure on this to open it up, and I'm moving the syringe around to make sure that it gets as deep as it possibly get in there, get to the actual bottom of this crack. Okay, and you'll see in a minute it's starting to come out. And that's what I want to see. I want to see overflow from that crack coming out the sides. That tells me it's reaching the bottom and it's getting full. Okay? And no more coming out the top. Alright, so there we have it. We've got the sides dripping, both of them going at once. So let's get all that extra off there real quick. And off the top. You can see it from both sides, it's dripping. Alright. Which means we reached the bottom of that crack. Which is something we have to do. Alright, now for the clamp up, very simple. I also want to see glue out on the clamp up. So hang in there while I change the camera. So I'm applying the two main clamps I'm going to use right here on the edge. And I want, there it comes. That's what I want to see. I want to see glue out. Alright, then I'll back it off. Bring it down another fret. Darn it. Come on, loosen up, guy. Clamp it down again, watch some glue come out. There it comes, that's what I want to see. Then down to the third fret and leave it. So I'm forcing it down this way, even with the clamps, alright? Yep, all coming out the sides like I want it to come out. I just don't want to leave it in that channel for the nut. Once this is all said and done, that old nut's not going to fit this with the flip. I'll have to chisel this out and clean it up. And once I've done this, they never fit right again. Anyways, chosen to go with a bone nut anyway, which is much better. Okie doke, so now time to clamp down on the first fret, the second fret actually, right in the middle, just like this. And again, I'm getting glue out, okay? So I'll back it off again, take it right on the fret itself, and put pressure. And then I got one more fret to cover, okay? Very carefully. So hang in there. I've already taken the nut off, and see how well it's done, and it looks like it's gone pretty well. Let's see. Oh yeah, look at this. Now there's a lot of overrun on it that I need to wipe off and clean off, but if you'll look, that crack, with the exception of those little dots there, they'll come off. It's almost perfectly sealed, which I thought it would be. Main thing is that it's done, it's got the job done. Okay, now you can see the problem I've got. When you glue these up, there's always that one piece that sticks up above the other. And not only does moisture, migrate through that, it's also, it gets sharp. So I've got to take and sand this whole thing down and get that more even. So the sanding begins, damn it. Which it just has to be done. There's no choice in the matter. Okay, so we're looking at the neck on the little Ovation, and it was original kind of a, I don't know, had a little more sheen to it, but it was a flat black. And what I've done, I've gone through and sprayed it with a flat black enamel to protect it as well as strengthen the back of this neck. As you can see, it's matching perfectly as it would be if it were flat black. But it's got, his original, I think, has got just a little bit of tone to it, and I can't figure that out at all. But we'll have to see as it sets and dries. I'm not really sure, but I don't like the way it's drying in spots. We'll have to check that out and be a little more careful about this. I have to go back over it and sand it some more, but we'll see. Okay, so hang in there. Okay, so what we've done, we've finished our last coat of the flat black on the neck itself. Then we took 2000 grit wet sandpaper and made it all smooth and nice and even. And the next step is to seal it. You can't just put it flat black on here and expect it to stay, it just won't do it. There's a little imperfection in the finish, but main thing is smooth, and it feels great to the touch. And once I put this clear enamel on it, crystal clear, right, it'll seal that paint up, and that will be that. Now, I expect to only do 2 coats with this, so I'm not going to go thick with it. I'm going to go very thin and keep it about 20 inches away from the product when I'm spraying it. But to protect my camera, I won't be showing that. I'll show the afterwork. Oops, somebody wants me. Hang in there, guys. Okay, so guys, we just finished working on the neck of this guitar. On the back where it's broken in half, right? We did a pretty good job hiding the fact, excuse me, hiding the fact where it, you know, was broken. To get a little close up on that. I dare you to show me where it's broken. So that's all nice and done, back where it was. Got to clean up a little bit of the dust still left on the back of the head. Clean that up. Anyway, we're going to continue on with this guitar. What's left to do on it is to put this brand new, custom made nut, bone nut to be put on it. Make this into a hell of a guitar. Anyway, originally I was going to put on a bone saddle as well, but doing that is that this is a acoustic electric, and it's got a very, very special tusk type of saddle in there that's got a very special shape to it that I can't copy with my tools. It had to be molded, you know, with the injection molding machine. You know what I'm talking about? These 2 little rounded parts here at the end that fit perfectly within the brace of the pickup controls. So rather than just boxing that off pieces, I just won't do it. I'll just give that a skip for now. In the meantime, before I forget to do it, I need to clean this guitar up. It's got plenty of dust on it for all the work that was done to it on that neck. And that, I mean, that was a lot. That was a lot of work, guys. Okay? Now, the problem was, I didn't realize it when I started working on it, that the neck was made up of 3 pieces. Sorry, actually 4 pieces. It had 2 rod-like pieces going up and down it. It had a scarf joint there at the heel. So that was really kind of surprising. And when I went to, repair the neck, when I did some sanding, I quickly got into some wood putty. Yes, I know it sounds weird, but between those pieces on the neck, the slats of the neck that run up and down it, there was wood putty filling in some major dips that are on this guitar, and I just couldn't believe it was on there. It's like, what the hell is this doing here? So, in order to get this all straightened out and get it right again, what I had to do was strip it all the way down to bare wood, the entire neck. Then put grain filler, not wood filler like they used. Put grain filler in it and squeegee that, let that all dry up, and then go from there. And then repair the neck. Oh my God. So anyway, it was not an easy job, guys, to do this one. It should have been easy. It should have been just a, a patch job on this. Is what wants it done. Doesn't want it rebuilt or restored. He just want it patched. Well, because of the problem with the way his neck was built, patching it really wasn't an option. It kind of had to be restored paint-wise, at least. But I dare you show me where that crack is now. Okay, well, I gotta be real careful today because it seems like my clutch, control is really on high gear right now. I'm just knocking things over, dropping shit. Unbelievable how clumsy I've been today. Just don't knock any guitars off the bench. How about it? Anyhow, switched it around so I get back in here and finish stringing this guitar up. And this is one of the fun things of my job. I'm building these nuts, and you just get to watch the player play them for the first time and hear that tonal difference that they get. It's brighter, it's more full, okay? It has a much better sustain to it. It's just a better all-around, you know, piece of equipment for guitar, a bone nut is, than a plastic one, you know? And if you do them right, which I do my best to do them right, they'll increase that sustain quite a bit. Like I said, add to the brightness of that tone. So they really like them. That's why I do quite a few of them too. I do them on electric and acoustics. And now it's time to get in there and adjust the action on this guitar. That nut is way high in spots, as you can see. So we got to bring that down. And we've got this little trusty, dusty little thing here that we judge the action on this thing. And let's get around so we can see that. Can you see that? Yes. Alright, now I'm going to dial it to 0. Hopefully we won't drop it. Alright. Come on, baby, come to 0. And let's test and see what height these strings are at right now. This one's right at 47. That's way too high. It should be around 30, so that's 17 too high. These will all be different. Alright. That's 47. That's way still too high. Okay. It's just me doing these roughing in this nut. Alright. Because I had a broken neck I was working with at the time. I wanted to keep going on the nut. We're at 42. And it's me, I gotta turn this thing around to get it done here. This one we're at 38. Okay, I turn it around. Let's see if you can still see what I'm doing. Alright, let's take it to 0. On the B string, we're at 30. Well, about 28. That's not bad for a B string. We go to 25 on the B and the E. Let's go to 0 first, though. 0. And we're at 38. So those all have to be adjusted, and well, except for one, the B string is pretty much the right height, 28. So I'll probably lower them all down accordingly. The thicker wound strings go down to 30 at their lowest, and the others I'll adjust accordingly according to the radius of the neck. Okie doke. But that E string's got to come down some to be in conjunction with that B. Now, also a problem here is that the overall guitar itself, you'll look, the action on it's not just the greatest in the world, so I'll have to lower that saddle as well and shave it down some, you know, if that's what he wants. But the best I could do on this was to straighten the neck out as much as I could with it broken, and then pretty much set it there and just leave it. Now it does have some relief to it because that's just the way it was. Okay. Okay. Let's see how many 64ths we're off on this. Well, it's not too bad. I can't really see that much, but I know it's not on. Let's see, that's probably about 6. That's not bad. 6 64ths is not bad on a thick guitar's E string. And it's 6 across there. Yeah, it's going to be 6 all the way across. Looks like it's go down to the B string. Yeah, it's 6 all the way across. So it's nice and even. To get a 64th off, you got to go quite a bit off of the saddle itself. And if I'm not mistaken, there's a couple of shims in there already. I can take one out and see what the results are. But before I do anything, I will be lowering the action on this nut up here and lowering that down quite a bit. All right. Okay guys, David Tex here, and we just got through finishing fixing his Ovation with poor little broken neck. You saw the work we did on it. What do you think about the work we did?
Looks good. Looks good. Can't even tell that it was broken. Sounds great.
Does it play pretty good still?
Yes, it does.
Cool.
Especially with the new strings. They always sound a lot better with the new strings too. So.
Alright, tell us a bit about yourself. What's your name?
My name's Adam. I don't really play in a band. I got a couple guys that I play with, a couple of friends. Just kind of do it in my free time and
cool.
Relax, you know.
Cool. Let's hear a little bit from your guitar, guy, and see what it sounds like now.
All right.
Playing. Cool, guy.
It was a little bit.
Nice. Guys, any questions, give me a holler. David, Texas. Bye. Say bye.
See ya.